Hello folks, I'm going to do a short video on the Walther P99. I know there's several videos on YouTube that explain this gun in detail. I'm just going to put my spin on a little bit of the information of what I find the most important aspects of this gun. Now first off, the gun is unloaded. Let's go ahead and check it. There's the follower, nothing inside, we're good to go, no magazines anywhere else, no ammo on the workbench, it's all out of the way, so we're safe. This gun has an anti-stress trigger. The anti-stress trigger is engaged when the gun is cocked, as in you insert a round from the magazine and then you push the decocker. By pushing that decocker right there, you give it an anti-stress trigger, which means it's got a very long, heavy pull, 10 pounds or better. Very, very heavy, like shooting a revolver in double action, if you will. It's going to be very long, very heavy, difficult to pull the trigger if you don't intend to pull the trigger. And that's the whole idea. If you're shaky, your hands are sweaty, you're in a stressful situation, and you have somebody at gunpoint, you're not going to accidentally shoot them because you have this hair trigger that you find in some other striker-fired polymer guns. Now, you can make it do that if you want, like a Walther PPQ, which has a very, very short reset, very light trigger. And by doing that, after I chamber around, all I got to do is just pull the trigger back to its first position, and I can carry it that way. I don't recommend it. I'm not going to carry it that way. That gives me a very short, light initial trigger pull, and the subsequent shots are just like the PPQ in that they're very short, very, very short, and very light, probably down to 5 or 6 pounds, I would imagine, on that, and very short stroke, as you can see. So once again, here is my decocker. I put in a magazine, I load one into the chamber, and I'm not going to put it in my holster like this. I'm going to reach up, hit the decocker. Now I've got that very, very heavy initial trigger pull, and all the next rounds are going to be nice and short and sweet. Okay. I like that feature. I think it makes sense. Once you're committed and you pull that trigger for the first time, then rocking and rolling, you're ready to go. The rest of the shots are nice and easy. The other feature of this gun that makes a lot of sense is the fact that you do not have to pull the trigger to take the gun apart. The decocker serves as that function. So if I was going to take this gun apart for cleaning or for service, I would remove the magazine, make sure that it was unloaded, and I would simply hit the decocker. By hitting the decocker, I can now slide the slide back just a tad, pull the block down, and it comes off in a conventional manner. Disassembly would be the same as pretty much anything else out there. For a more detailed strip of the upper, you can remove this back plate and gain access to the striker and spring and firing pin block and so on. So you put this back together real quick. Why other gun companies don't incorporate some sort of a feature that allows you to take the gun apart without pulling the trigger, I do not know. It makes good sense to me. You can never be too safe. I like that feature. For size comparison, I have a Glock 22 here. As you can see, it's about the same size, and this is a perfect example of a gun that is extremely popular, extremely well made, shoot thousands and thousands of rounds and probably not give you an issue at all, but I cannot take this gun apart without pulling that trigger. I can try and try and try. Now, unless I'm doing something wrong or I don't have a trick or I didn't read the manual, I have to pull this trigger. Once I pull that trigger, then I can slide that slide off and take it apart the rest of the way. Dangerous. People have been shot for, many years. People have been shot and killed because of guns like this. And it's not just the Glock. I mean, Walther makes guns that you have to pull the trigger to take them apart. So it's not just Glock, it's lots of them. And I believe that the manufacturers should incorporate some sort of a feature like this that allows you to take this gun apart without pulling the trigger. A couple of extra features real quick is it does have a cocked indicator on the back that you can see and feel. It's got a little red dot right there. So if you've ever wondered if you want to know if you've ever decocked that or not, you don't have to pull the trigger to see if it's light or heavy, which would be unsafe. You can just look back here, and if you see it, well, you know you have it, and you can decock it that way. Adjustable rear sight, which is nice for windage. You get a couple of different height front sights for elevation. This one seems to be shooting spot on. Fits good in the hand, very robust, been shooting it for years, got quite a few hundred rounds through it, showing basically no wear. The Tenifer finish and the maybe the black oxide here, I'm not sure what that is on the barrel, is just starting to show some wear. Very nice gun, very well made, give you many years of reliable service, and just wanted to try to take some of the mystery out of the anti-stress trigger and how it works. I think more guns should be made similar to this. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, and I get that. They want the trigger to be the same every single time. They don't want it to give you any issues. But I think the safety that's incorporated in this gun, and for the reasons why they did this, to appease to police officers and military, just makes sense. This is what they wanted. They did a poll, questionnaire, some sort of a poll they did, and got a whole bunch of information asking police department officers as well as military people what they wanted in a handgun and what kind of features and safety features do they want incorporated into it. And they compiled that data and they said, well, you know, we need decocker, we need a heavy trigger pull on the initial shot, but we also want to make it to where you can not have the heavy trigger pull if you want and go back to the light trigger pull, so you have an option. We also want to make sure that we don't have to pull the trigger to take the gun apart for cleaning. And this particular one is 40 cal, so it only holds 12 rounds. If it was a 9mm, it would hold 15, I believe. But great gun. Hope that makes sense to you, and see you next time. Thanks.